Yeah, I know I have, man. You did a little bit too. You helped out very slightly. Oh man, the true trial. What have I been doing up to this point? This place is a little monochrome, don't you think? Got some waterfalls frozen in place. Oh, so once I finish the game, it'll all be clear to me. All right, thanks. All right, I guess, man. You're asking quite a lot of me bringing down underwater. I almost choked, and then I found out I could breathe. It was traumatic, man. I mean, could you imagine, like, being pulled down under the water and you think you have to hold your breath, and then you just can't hold it anymore? And then, but you find out you can breathe. So I guess that's the good part. I guess it would be worse if you found out you still actually couldn't breathe. But, no, oh, hello. Nice. Really, you had to get frozen in that pose? You couldn't just look like a normal person? You two, these guys really like that pose. See, now that's cool. Hold your sword up like that. If you're gonna get frozen in a pose, you gotta do that. Oh, that royal family or something? That guy looks a little bit familiar, don't you think? See shades of something there. Hey man, what's up? Get a good look at this guy. There we go. Nice 3D modeling concept. Look how large, like, his lip is. Imagine he just, like, scoops up food with that thing. All right, anyway, we're wasting enough time. You don't get to see these enemies frozen in place. You also remember these guys. It's too bad you can't, like, hit them right now and, like, knock off their armor, right? Wouldn't that be kind of neat? That pose. Hello? Well, ain't got much else to do. What you got for me? Item you seek is hidden somewhere in this castle. You must find the entrance to the basement. A mighty threshold firmly sealed to prevent evil from ever gaining access. So we're gonna open it and let all the evil in. In order to search what we must do to open the hidden way, you'll find a clue in the shape of the heraldry near where we arrived at the castle. It's a completely irrelevant hint. You can probably already guess. We've got blocks. We've got a triforce. There's these strange protector things along the way. I wonder what we need to do. So we can just push these around. This is very simple. You don't really even need to think about it at all. Just kind of keep pushing until everything lines up. Moving in this triangular fashion is a little bit awkward, but it's really not too bad at all. Just kind of keep pushing it around. All right, so 2 of them are in place. Nope. Oh, come on. Get to the other side. There we go. And there we go. Like I said, you don't really have to... I've probably solved this puzzle like 50 different ways in my lifetime. All right, well, simple enough, right? Not sure how everything except that has been frozen in time, but you know, I don't really understand all this time stuff, so I guess I'll let it go. Okay, it really wasn't. It was like the only thing I could interact with in that entire room. It's not that big of a deal, man. Oh, the Master Sword. Cool. Might as well. Kind of a neat area. I don't remember all this stuff being here in the Temple of Time. They must have remodeled since the last time we were here. Ah, it looks like all of our friends were awakened, huh? That's gonna be fun when we go back out there. We get the Master Sword, the legendary blade with the power to repel evil, once wielded by the legendary hero himself, and now wielded by this one. Alright, we're free to go. Before we do that, though, it's worth checking out the stained glass designs here on this wall. You know, little Triforce emblem there, but as we start to move further, we'll notice some familiar faces. Oh, there we go, got stuck. This looks like Nibiru in the Spirit Temple, and Sheik in the Shadow, Sheik. No, not Sheik. I've got my characters. Impa in the Shadow Temple. Darunia, of course, in the Fire. It's sort of a general one, and that is, as you may have got, this is like just very clearly an Ocarina of Time reference. You know, that was Ganon's final form or whatever, final boss fight of the game. We've got Saria here in the Forest Temple. We've got, what's this guy's name? I don't actually remember this guy's name. He appears very briefly for just like a couple scenes, and that's it. The Light Sage. Of course, Ruto. Another Triforce design. So that's pretty neat. I like those little stained glass designs. I always felt like they should... stained glass is probably not a very popular, very lucrative market in this day and age, but I always felt like they should have released, you know, like just little things you can hang up in your windows or something. Little stained glass ornaments that you could hang up with those designs on them. That would be really cool. But to my knowledge, that has never existed unless somebody's made that and sold it without Nintendo's knowledge on, you know, Pinterest or Etsy or whatever the people use for the crafts these days. I have no idea. Hello, everybody is angry with me. Let's fight all of these enemies. So we'll try to take it one at a time here. I actually hit the one that I did not counter. So I want to go ahead and try to get Knight's Crest from these guys. As far as I know, they will always drop an orb that will have a Knight's Crest for you. But sometimes... freaking out, doesn't have a weapon. But sometimes, like, those orbs can drop in such a way. This is actually kind of bad. I prefer him to get a weapon. It's hard to get behind him. He will also, as you can see, pick up the other people's weapons, which is kind of interesting. Even if it's not the sword that he normally uses, I guess he's well trained in a number of weapons. But yeah, like I said, they will always drop an orb for you, so you can get the Knight's Crest out of it. But sometimes they'll drop in weird places, and I've had them drop on architecture to the point where the Knight's Crest was actually unobtainable. And I really need all of the Knight's Crests. So, let's see, we'll just start with this one here. Oh, okay, just stab me through the guy, I guess. And whenever you aim the grappling hook at these guys, it aims at their heads. So you need to make sure that if you want to do it that way, that you take off their head armor at some point. Okay, I guess that also works. It's a little tricky when there's a lot of these guys. Alright, so, fine, I guess. Oh yeah, they can also block it with the shield, which is kind of annoying. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. There we go. So I think I've got all of these guys now. I guess I can also grab the skull necklace while I'm here. Well, that was effective. The problem is when there are so many, it's difficult to counter and then like get behind them and press the attack like you normally do. Oh, he's punching me. Okay, got that one at least. That one's going off to find a weapon, which is fair enough. I broke the orb with that counterattack. That's pretty neat. So the other thing about these guys always dropping orbs is that those orbs will pretty much always have hearts in them also. So while this seems like a ton of enemies to face, facing them with this sword is probably not a good idea. I never actually picked this up before. No, don't throw it. I was going to show off. You can swing this, but as you can see, it's very slow. But you can actually do a spin attack with it, and it's very quick. So if you want, this is actually not a bad thing. It's halfway decent. You can sit there and do spin attacks with it, but, you know, only really helpful. It's not really helpful against the armor guys, because they'll just block it, since obviously they're armored, and that's kind of the point. So pick up this guy's skull necklace also, and we should, again, have his dice crest. Yep, so it's not there. We also do need, I don't know how many skull necklaces we have. 17. Okay, we could actually use some more. We're going to need 20 before too long, so we'll just grab those as we can. Gonna attack, he's going to sit there menacingly. Yeah, it kind of sucks when it knocks them down, because then it's very difficult to actually still hit them when they turn back around. It's sort of hitting the edge there, making it a little difficult. So yeah, it's stuff like this, where if the Knight's Crest, like, if it goes up onto one of these, like, pillars, I think I had it drop up here, and you can't get up there to grab it, so I just had to sit there and watch as that Knight's Crest disappeared. It was not good. So that's why I would recommend, if you're near some of that stuff, to just make sure you go ahead and do it with a grappling hook. No, I was hoping I could sneak up on him. Yep, that's not gonna work. Yeah, they are also pretty good at jumping away from you sometimes. Oh, hello. That guy's gonna get me. Oh, nice. That spin attack got him. And in case you're wondering, yes, you do actually have to kill everything. I didn't go look at it, but the exit to this place has it's barred, basically. You'll see as we get close to it. We can't actually leave, so in order to clear that away, we're gonna have to kill all the enemies here. Not that big of a deal. There's usually some around here. That's strange. I guess they're all on this end. The Master Sword is also very good at getting those double hits with stab attacks. I guess because it's slightly longer than the original one was. Wow, that guy's oblivious. He's like, where did he go? I have no idea. Alright, so this hallway over here should be the last place that has enemies, if I'm not mistaken. Then we counter him after the fact. Oh, okay. Good punch. You got me there. That's why stab attacks become really good, because they can get those double hits. Alright, we're about done. I think there may be one more at the bottom, maybe on the other side. So we killed the guy there. Here he is. And the only problem with that is that oftentimes your third attack will not hit. I've not really experimented. You can probably hold the control stick in a different direction to get an attack that would hit them, even when they've been knocked out a little bit further from those double stab attacks, but I haven't bothered with it up to this point. So there was another exit, but we wouldn't actually be able to get anywhere. We'll go there much, much later in the game. But as we go forward, like just a little bit from there, we'll be blocked off, so we can't actually do anything there. So now that we got the sword and we've gotten out of there, let's check. So we've got 9 Knight's Crest at this point, and I know of 1 more Dark Nut we'll fight. I think we need 10, if I'm not mistaken. If I remember correctly, we need 10 up to a certain point. That's coming up fairly soon, but we still got some time before we get there. And we, of course, did get our 20 skull necklaces as well. So, all right, that's it. The place has disappeared. It's kind of weird that the king doesn't say anything at this point. You kind of figured they'd give you some direction, like, okay, well, what now? But you're kind of supposed to just figure it out yourself. Since we've got the blade, we want to go back and defeat Ganon, right? So we actually want to go back to the Forsaken Fortress for the second time and try to rescue our sister, who's still there. We tried to save her once. It didn't quite go so well. Of course, before we do that, we've got bunches of other treasure to pick up, so we'll have to put our sister on hold for a little while. There's one pretty important thing that we can get now, now that we have the bow, but we're going to be doing that just after we take care of this real quick. There's actually a treasure chart treasure that we're going to pick up here, and it is number 6. Well, I haven't fiddled with these controls in a while. There we go. So it's actually going to be just inside of this little reef here. And there are a bunch of these types of reefs pretty much all around the place, but there's nothing we can do with them right now. They will actually sort of unlock, so to speak, after we go back to the Forsaken Fortress for a second time. But for right now, they're just kind of, places to hang out. So we've got a treasure here. The water is also very violent here. I really like how much it ebbs and flows. And we get a silver rupee from that. So we're going to be getting a fair amount of money here coming up, which is good because we're going to need quite a bit of it pretty soon. If you don't remember, we've got some other stuff from Rockspire Isle. If you remember that beetle shop that had all the... I think we got a piece of heart from it last time. It's got still a bottle and a treasure chart that are both very expensive, so we'll be looking to buy that. So now, as you've noticed, we're heading north. This is pretty much the quickest way I've found to do... There we go. We're going to find one of these things. Now that we have the bow and arrow, we can actually deal with these cyclones. I purposefully have avoided them multiple times before. As we approach this frog cloud god thing, looks a lot like the wind god is going to appear, and we're going to have to try to shoot him out of the air. Now, these are difficult shots. As you can see, you kind of have to lead him right a little bit. And... well, that didn't quite work. As you can see, it's pretty difficult to actually get a proper shot off. There we go. But if we can hit him 3 times, that will finish the sequence. You've got a fair amount of time before you get sucked up into the cyclone and deposited somewhere random on the world map. But that's a heck of an arm you got there. That's a heck of a size you've got there. You're a large frog. Okay, now you're normal size. That's good. Ah, so it looks like he's going to teach us a song. And he's taught us the Ballad of Gales. So a little bit of a clue as to what the cyclones do now, the Ballad of Gales. It's going to head on home. We don't have to worry about encountering these large cyclones anywhere on the world map now, which is nice because those are kind of a pain to avoid. So let's go ahead and use our new power. We're going to call on the Ballad of Gales here. And as you can see, this brings up warps. So now we can actually warp around the map. This is why I was sort of putting off getting a lot of the treasure that's in kind of these out-of-the-way areas, because once we get the ability to warp around the map, you really never have to sail more than 1 or 2 squares to get anywhere, which combined with the swift sail makes getting around quite a bit faster. So we're actually going to stop by Dragon Roost Island over here. Now we're not going to the island itself right now, rather the square that is one north of that, but of course, you know, we can skip like half the map to get over there. We might as well do it. So we are going to be warping around quite a lot, actually, because like I said, you never have to go more than 1 or 2 squares from anywhere you warp. So it's a good way to get around much faster, and even if you're only warping like 2 squares, you know, if it saves you those 2 squares of sailing, it is faster, period. So we're going to move a little bit north here. We're going to be on the lookout for some platforms that will be appearing once we cross over into the zone. There it is. And we're going to be dealing with some stuff on these platforms. So we'll just go ahead and full stop there. I like to pull that out just to come to a stop really quickly. Otherwise, it takes forever to like coast to a stop, even if you're holding the stop button. I also need some kind of, can I get like a fairy upgrade for increased ladder climb speed? So, Wizrobes here. This one's fairly simple. We are going to be using our bow and arrow on some of these because they're going to appear on like far platforms and out of the way and stuff. But most of the time, this is actually fairly simple. Nah, it's better to do a jump attack if you can. See, this time he's over there, so we'll just shoot him. This is another one of those things that I guess you could technically do with a sword. Because as you can see, they did all 3 appear on this platform at one point or another. But, oh, hello. Yeah, right, I forgot there was another one there. I think this is actually the annoying one. Yeah, this is the one that makes you want the bow and arrow, because he'll appear in places like that where you can't actually hit him with anything. So maybe the bow and arrow is actually required to do this. Once we take out all 3 chests will spawn, and that will be it. So let's go ahead and collect our spoils. Obviously, the first 2 is not going to have anything super useful in it. Red rupee, whoop-de-doo. Hop over to the left one here. And a golden feather, whoop-de-doo. I think that's another like 20 rupees, because we've already got enough of them to turn them in for our side quest that we're going to do later. Just hop across as it starts storming. Can't be pleasant out here for more than like a couple minutes, can it? And we get a treasure chart for our efforts there. Cool. All right. So let's hop on our boat, and now we're going to be doing quite a bit of warping around. This is where the exploration is going to start getting a little bit disjointed. The way I had set it up before is that we were really only getting stuff that's on the way, and we didn't sail more than like 1 square in any direction to get to anything optional. We're going to be doing a lot of warping around now, since we can get to really anywhere on the map within a minute or so. This is the point where we can pretty much just mop up all the rest of the stuff that we didn't quite take care of yet. All right, so I think we need to head to the west from here. And on this square, which is one we've seen before, Horseshoe Island, we're going to be grabbing the treasure from chart number 9. So as we sail up to it, we can avoid all these weird helicopter doodads. And we can see there's our treasure chart on the horizon. And if we can stop fairly close to it here, move up just a little bit. And we get another silver rupee from this. A lot of these treasure charts are going to contain rupees, which is fine by me, because money is a thing we need a lot of in this game. So, again, we're going to be warping back. We're going back to Outset again, but that's just because we're right here. Warping there is faster than sailing back, very slightly. So, you know, we might as well do that and take advantage of it. Less sailing we have to do. Then we'll go northeast 1 square over here to a square that we have not been to yet. We'll pick up number 16. Right there. As we approach the island, nice calm seas on the way. So we are also going to have to grab the fish while we're here. I guess we can get the treasure first since we're already heading straight towards it. Should be good. Oh, maybe not. Oh man, I passed it up pretty considerably, didn't I? Alright, well, we'll go back a ways. And another silver rupee. I guess we're going to be seeing a lot of those, huh? Alright, so let's also go ahead and we'll have to get our bait ready. I also need some... Oh, no, I've got plenty of bait right now. I guess I will after I do these expeditions. I was going to say I need some more, but... I guess after this little treasure hunting section, we will probably need some. Because we're going to be visiting a lot of these unexplored squares. So the square here is Shark Island on this pretty little island that, well, looks like a shark. They're on the nose with a lot of these things. Well, what do you know? Just happened to get there. I don't know if they just assume that you will be there, or if that's just like the first thing the fish says after you get the bow and arrow. I really don't know. Yeah, it is certainly nice, isn't it? Don't you have a weapon that can pierce things from distance? You know, whip, I tell you. Like, okay, it's a bow, dude. Like, I guess I don't know what would fish know about bows, but... At the same time, there's got to be a better way to describe it. So instead of warping anywhere, we're actually going to be continuing to the northeast. We're going to move on over into Southern Triangle Island here. And as we approach, we will be picking up treasure charts. Move along a bit. Number 44. Yep, that's a triangle, all right. Haven't been back here since we placed the pearls. If you're curious what this place looks like. Well, now I can't see anything. All right, thanks, Storm. All right, so there's our treasure over there. Go ahead and grab that real quick. Got it. And an orange rupee. Oh, that one's not as good. Yeah, okay, run into me. So yeah, you can see that these guys are actually still, or these ladies, I guess, are actually still out here holding up these pearls. Like, you don't really need to anymore. You can pretty much just seal off the Tower of the Gods again. I'm basically done. But no, can't interact with them in any way. They look kind of interesting, though. They don't have mouths. Hey, was there a party over here or something? What's going on? All right. So, enough of that. Let's hop back in the boat. Okay, so at this point, I believe we're actually going to head back to Windfall and start doing some more of the stuff there. That may actually be a prime place to leave it off for the time being. So we may just go ahead and finish what we've got to do here on Windfall, and then after that we'll probably call it quits, you know, so that way we can hang out in a nice town, get some good food, solid land beneath our feet. You know, it's always good things, even for a sailor like us. Alright, so I think I'm going to need this to be day in order to actually do anything here, so... Nope. It's been a while since I've played the Song of Passing, so could not remember the first direction. So there's really only a couple things that we need to make sure we take care of here. The first of which is going to be this guy right here. Now, there's no real hint up to this point. Even if we talk to this guy, if you ever have money issues, I give good financial advice. I've probably got more cash than you. So he doesn't give us a hint of this or anything. But we can actually give this guy 3 skull necklaces, which is actually just enough. So if we show these to him, he says he collects these things. How'd you know that? I don't know. I read a guide on the internet, man. I've played this game before. Like, All right, so he wants 3 of these. If we give it to him, he will give us the honor of playing a really fun game. Goodbye. I'll give you 3. Piggy sitting. Okay, I'm slightly intrigued. So he's let 3 pigs loose on the island. You have to bring them all back to him within 2 minutes, and he'll reward us if we do a good job. So, yeah, let's go ahead and take care of it. This is very simple. He says he's hidden them around the island, but they're actually pretty much just all right here. As you can see, there's 1, there's 2, and the 3rd one is probably down around here somewhere. So we can, it's probably best to just crawl up on these guys so that way they won't start running away from you. We can just pick them up and bring them back. Drop him off at his feet. So we've got 141 left. Go ahead and just grab this one right here. This might have been the 3rd one that we didn't see before. Alright, so 1:30 left. And the last one should be... Was it this one up here? Did we see one up here? Yep, right around the corner. He's actually straight off a little bit further than he normally does, but still not too hard to find. I love the sound it makes when you walk with pigs. It actually oinks every time you take a step. And there's the 3rd. All right, so like I said, very simple game. So all we're going to get from this, which I guess is important, we're going to get a treasure chart. Cool beans. But I don't, were they I don't think they knew they were competing. They were just kind of hanging out. So, all right, yeah, that's that. We brought the pigs around, and now they can all scramble again. Go away from me, weird guy. And we're back up in Windfall. Not too much. There's actually not any reward we're going to get for this immediately. We're actually going to be dealing with Zunari and his stall very soon. We're just going to get a couple more things, and then essentially we're going to take care of that. So we're going to need to make sure that while we're here, while we're making this pit stop, we go ahead and grab one of these town flowers. Yep, no problem. So it's just good to make sure we have one so we can start this side quest going. We're going to be doing a lot with this, and we're basically going to knock all of these out. This is essentially a side quest where we're going to be trading these items that, you know, we bought this town flower, so we're going to be trading that for something from another merchant, and then we're going to trade what he gives us for something else. It's this big, long fetch quest sailing to a total of 3 different islands back and forth over and over. It's fun stuff, let me guarantee you that. But I think we're going to take care of that later. So like I said, I think we've got just a couple more chart treasures along the way, and then we will get that quest started. I believe it starts at Great Fish, if I'm not mistaken, that isle that got destroyed before when we went to see the water spirit, Jaboon, or whatever his name was. So yeah, I think we're going to take care of that later, though. We can just hang out here at Windfall, get a nice meal, have some solid ground beneath our feet, sleep in a bed. Should be good stuff. So until then, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.